As many of you know, I was a former litigator, so I'm going to present this video to you and make my case as a litigator. I'm going to show you evidence how Donald Trump lied to his own people, his own MAGA supporters, and then threw them under the bus and blamed them for January 6th. I'm going to give you evidence beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you ready for this? Listen to this clip from the Univision town hall with Donald Trump last week. Let's play the clip.
Okay, your I'd say action and maybe inaction during your presidency and the last few years sort of, was a little disturbing to me. What happened during January 6th and the fact that, you waited so long to take action while your supporters were attacking the Capitol. Coronavirus, I thought the public was misled during coronavirus, and that many more lives could have been saved if we would have been informed better. And also people in your administration who don't support you. I'm curious how people so close to you and your administration no longer want to support you, so why would I want to support you? If you would answer these questions for me, I would really appreciate it and give you the opportunity. There's, your own vice president doesn't want to support you now.
Thank you, Ramiro.
So the people that don't support a very small portion, we have a tremendous, about 97% of the people in the administration support me. But because it's me, somebody doesn't support, they get a little publicity. The vice president, I disagree with him on what he did. I totally disagreed with him on what he did. Very importantly, you had hundreds of thousands of people come to Washington. They didn't come because of me. They came because of the election. They thought the election was a rigged election, and that's why they came.
Did you hear what he said there? He just said, quote, "They didn't come because of me. They came because of the election." They thought the election was a rigged election, and that's why they came. Well, in the words of his supporters, watch this scene and tell me if you think they didn't come because of Trump. Let's play the clip.
President Trump called patriots nationwide to be in our nation's capital to fight for him, and that's exactly what I did. I answered the call that made it happen.
So why are you here?
We support Trump and the fact that he did win the election, and he's going to be reelected, and he's going to expose some stuff today.
Yeah. In your opinion, what makes America great?
President Trump.
That's right. Woo! We ain't back down either. Yeah. I ain't seen nothing yet.
Well, what brought me out here is Trump asked. He's not your normal politician. He's one of us.
He won. He did win.
Yes, he did.
If you don't see issues, you're an idiot.
Blind.
You're an idiot.
Yeah.
There's been so much stuff released online. Trump has clarified everything has been true. It's not just doctored information. It is a rigged election, and it needs to be fixed.
Yeah, if they don't fix it now, we're going to lose our country.
Yep.
I'm going to be at the Capitol building and let our elected officials know that we're here and we want an investigation. And everybody says on the mainstream media that there's no proof of widespread election fraud, and there is. Something is nefarious. Let's investigate it. Let's get through it, and let's start the second term of Donald J. Trump.
Now, we all know 100% that they came because Donald Trump asked them to show up. If you were asked, and you were to ask any Trump supporter today who was at January 6th, they would probably tell you it's because he asked them to come. He's lying to his own people, and if you don't believe Trump's supporters in their own words that they came because Trump told them, then does anyone remember the infamous December 19 tweet where Donald Trump told his supporters to go to Washington, that it was going to be wild? Here, let's show you that. Is he now denying that he sent out that tweet telling everybody to come to D.C.? They came because he told them to come. He lied to his own people. And to be clear, there were people who violently attacked the Capitol Police on January 6th, and there were other Trump supporters, like the ones we just saw in the interviews, who just came to protest. But one thing is clear. Whether they were Trump supporters who beat on police officers or they came to protest, they were all there for one reason. Trump told them to come. And on January 6th, this is what it looked like. Some people waving flags and some people attacking police officers. You can see it for yourself.
Patriots, let us Made in America. Trump won. Trump won.
Now, let's focus on the second part of the Univision clip. Let's play it right here.
Very importantly, you had hundreds of thousands of people come to Washington. They didn't come because of me. They came because of the election. They thought the election was a rigged election, and that's why they came.
So they thought the election was rigged. They thought the election was rigged for one reason. Donald Trump told them it was rigged repeatedly for months. Here's Donald Trump saying it. Here, play this clip.
The only way we're going to lose this election is if the election is rigged. Remember that. This is a fraud on the American public. This is an embarrassment to our country. We were getting ready to win this election. Frankly, we did win this election. If you count the legal votes, I easily win. If you count the illegal votes, they can try to steal the election from us.
He continues to make claims of voter fraud.
Hundreds and hundreds of affidavits that have been signed by people under the penalty of perjury that they saw and witnessed voter fraud.
There was batches of ballots being ran through the tabulating machines numerous times, being counted 8 to 10 times.
Dead people tend to vote more often when you make it easier for them to vote.
Welcome back. I'm back with Sidney Powell, who is part of President Trump's legal team in contesting this election. Sidney, we talked about the Dominion software.
That is where the fraud took place, where they were flipping votes in the computer system or adding votes that did not exist.
So the Trump supporters didn't come because they independently developed a thesis or theory on their own. They came because Donald Trump told them repeatedly that the election was stolen. And as we all know, he continues to say exactly the same thing. He lied to his own people, and he keeps lying to them. And how do we know he lied to his own people? Because he told us. I want you to listen to the sworn testimony from Cassidy Hutchinson, a top aide to former Donald Trump Chief of Staff Mark Meadows. She shared that Trump told Meadows, quote, "I don't want people to know we lost, Mark. This is embarrassing. Figure it out." Here, play this clip.
This is the day that the Supreme Court had rejected that case. Mr. Meadows and I were in the White House residence at a Christmas reception. And as we were walking back from the Christmas reception that evening, the president was walking out of the Oval Office, so we crossed paths in the Rose Garden colonnade. The president was fired up about the Supreme Court decision. And so I was standing next to Mr. Meadows, but I stepped back, so I was probably 2-3 feet catty corner from him, diagonal from him. The president's just raging about the decision and how it's wrong and why didn't we make more calls, and just his typical anger outburst at this decision. And the president said he had said something to the effect of, "I don't want people to know we lost, Mark. This is embarrassing. Figure it out. We need to figure it out. I don't want people to know that we lost."
There it is. Trump told his chief of staff, who was the firewall to Donald Trump on January 6th, that, quote, "I don't want people to know we lost, Mark." Again, how do we know he lied to his own people? Because he just recently admitted it again on Lex Friedman's podcast. Quote, "We lost by a whisker," he said. Here, play this clip.
Donald Trump has finally admitted that he did, in fact, lose the 2020 race to now President Joe Biden.
I became president. Then the second time, I got millions more votes than I got the first time. So I was told if I got 63 million, which is what I got the first time, you would win. You can't not win. And I got millions of more votes than that, and lost by a whisker.
Lost by a whisker. We should note, of course, that Donald Trump's lies about the 2020 election fueled the January 6th attack on the Capitol, as well as multiple state and federal indictments.
Even one of Donald Trump's most ardent supporters in 2020, Nick Fuentes, recently said Donald Trump lied to us. Nick Fuentes said, quote, "He's admitting I lost by a whisker. So what was the point? What's the point of any of it if you lost in 2020? Seriously, what are we even doing anymore then? You're a loser. You lost to Joe Biden. You deserve to be charged." If he admits that he lost, then that actually vindicates the DOJ charge against him, because the charge is that he knew he lost, but he lied to defraud people. That's the DOJ's charge. So why do we stop the steal? Here, play this clip.
We get the most votes of anybody, of any sitting president in history. And he beat us by a whisker. And it was a terrible thing.
So why did we do Stop the Steal? Why did anyone go to January 6th? Why is anyone sitting in jail? Why did anything bad happen to anybody? Why did everyone get censored? Why is everything bad that has happened to the people that are involved, why did that need to happen if you're just going to walk it all back and say, "Oh, I lost"? Well, it would have been good to know that before 1,600 people got charged. It would have been good to know that before I had all my money frozen, put on a no-fly list, banned from everything, lost all banking and payment processing. Would have been good to know that before I, in 2017, dedicated my life to this as an 18-year-old in college.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
Actually, I'm not, Nick. I'm not wondering any of that. I mean, so you're mad because you were lied to by Donald Trump. Is that what is he lying now or lying then?
So he always knew he lost. He always knew he was lying to his own people. He knows right now he's lying to his own people. Trump supporters came to Washington, and after months of being lied to, they came to the conclusion that it was rigged because Trump said it was rigged. And then on January 6th, he stood back and stood by and watched TV for hours of violent imagery of his supporters fighting police officers and breaking into the Capitol. Here, play the clip.
At this hour, our democracy is under unprecedented assault, unlike anything we've seen in modern times. The scenes of chaos at the Capitol do not reflect a true America, do not represent who we are. What we're seeing are a small number of extremists dedicated to lawlessness. This is not dissent. It's disorder. It's chaos. It borders on sedition. And it must end now. I call on President Trump to go on national television now to fulfill his oath and defend the Constitution and demand an end to this siege.
And while watching all of this, he even asked for a Coke. That's what was on his mind. He wanted a drink. He wanted to drink his favorite caffeinated beverage, a Coke. Play the clip.
Former President Donald Trump is calling federal judge Tanya Chutkan an evil person for releasing these nearly 2,000 pages of evidence submitted by special counsel Jack Smith. In one of the depositions released today, a White House aide told investigators when Trump was informed there was rioting at the Capitol January 6th, he responded by saying, "Oh, really? Let's go see." Then the aide handed him the TV remote control, and the aide then went to grab Trump a Diet Coke. Jack Smith has argued Trump scrolled his phone and watched the attack on television without immediately calling off the rioters. Trump tried to delay the release of these passages until after the election, but Judge Tanya Chutkan ruled holding back the information from the public would itself be election interference. Scott McFarland, CBS News, Washington.
So here's the truth, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Trump supporters came because he told them to come. Trump supporters came because he told them the election was stolen. Trump lied repeatedly to his own people. Then he blamed them for coming to D.C. Then he said they thought the election was stolen. And the truth is, he knows it. Everyone, please share this with your friends who are Trump supporters. Show them, don't tell them how he lied to them and then blamed them for January 6th. Thanks for watching, and hit subscribe, and let's get to 4 million subscribers together.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.